too. I don't care.
Right. Oh,
But
no, that's fine. That's fine.
but
Yeah.
are we live?
Oh
yeah, we're live. Look
We're
at that.
live. Oh, there we
We're
go.
live.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi.
Right. So your doctor's changing your prescription.
Yeah, because there's some things that the Zoloft works better for, as far as I have like a bazillion different types of anxieties.
Oh well.
And different anxiety medicines handle different anxieties differently.
I wouldn't know why.
so it's like, yeah. So I'm gonna be on Zoloft and Cymbalta together, which is not something they do very often.
Right.
But it'll be like about 50 milligrams less of the Zoloft that I'm taking now, and then 40 milligrams of Cymbalta or something like that. I'm not exactly sure yet. I'm just weaning down some now so that I can start the other. So I'm going to be an emotional roller coaster.
Right. As opposed to
whatever the fuck this is. Oh my God. Good morning, everyone. It is March 2nd, 2022.
2022.
And now I am 40 or 50 years old.
And don't have time for this shit.
Don't have time for this shit. Oh.
Oh
my God.
But, yes, but happy birthday, Nita, even though it was yesterday.
It's a whole week thing. I'm a Pisces, so it's not all about my birthday. It's my birthday year.
How fortuitous.
Anyway, oh shit. Okay, Daphne, I don't remember how to do this. Okay, yeah, you ready?
Absolutely not. But hit it.
All right.
Valar Morghulis. Yes, all men must die. But we are not men.
Neither are we. Yeah.
I really am glad I changed the music and everything, because the music really does put me in the right mood.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. So who's joining us? Yes. Yeah. Hello.
All these randos.
And yes, we see you, our beautiful eyeball people watching from regions beyond. If you are joining us from Facebook, please come over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. Keep them company. And while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever we go live. So I brought back Facebook as a regular streaming thing. But the thing is, though, it's like, we don't know how stable the connection to Facebook usually is. So if you're watching from Facebook, hello and welcome. But if Facebook glitches out, YouTube would be the best place to come on over and speak to us one-on-one, live, or whatever you want to do in the chat. Oh my goodness. So hold on. I got, I'm always freezing my ass off, right? Even though it's supposed to be getting warmer, or it is getting warmer, right? But it's like, I don't know, it never fails. I guess what it is just like once I'm on the stream, it's like all of a sudden it's like, I guess all the adrenaline gets going, and I get like overheated. Oh, hey George. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yes. So I just had to go turn off the heater because it's like now I'm like, it's too much going on. So actually there's too much going on anyway. But yes, so today is finally the launch for EGORAVEN Heir of the First issue, Heir of the First Unicorn issue 12. Jesus Christ. And we're going to give it like about a couple of minutes, probably at like 11:15. We're going to launch it and see what happens. So I would like to thank the 116 followers who have been following the pre-launch page since I put it up. Thank you so much. And for those of you who want to sign up for the pre-launch page right now before we go live, the link is in the chat and in the show notes, or you could go just straight to www.egoraven.com, EGORAVEN.com, which will take you directly to the Kickstarter page, where you can hit the notify me button, or if you wait until 11:15, it'll take you directly to the campaign. Gosh, I'm just like so glad that I'll finally be able to launch this thing. But we, and we also have some other things that I also want to talk about later, but we'll get to that. But yes, so hello everyone. Before I forget, hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist, and especially I am the artist for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales.
I'm trying.
Right.
Here we go.
There we go. Tall Tales. There we go. And the creator of EGORAVEN, Heir of the First Unicorn, a medieval fantasy drama that you can also read online at egoworks.com. That's EGOWORKS. And like I said, egoraven.com will take you directly to the Kickstarter page, which we will be launching in a couple of minutes. And co-hosting with me is
no,
don't show up there.
Like it won't. Okay, let me get the card. All right.
Just
okay, there we go.
Right, yeah.
Like I've got this lag on my mouse cursor and everything trying to hold this, like all my equipment is going weird.
Oh no, it's probably all the moving. You probably just need to like finally settle it in a place. And
well, I need to do everything through the run everything through the Waylink USB thing instead of random plugs here and there, and just get everything set back up. And hopefully it'll resolve itself, but it's chaotic. Anyway, I'm Nita. That's it.
Right. That's it.
That's it. Nita, and I do things.
Right.
And some things I don't do very well. Like I can
still get paid for it.
Rearranging my office.
Well, yeah, I know, right? It's like, gosh, it's like it's been like 4 months? I think it feels like it's been longer than that since you tore apart the office.
I don't even know anymore, because I tried the situation in the kitchen,
right,
which was nice, but it made it very cramped in the front of the house. And it just was like, and another thing is like, I don't want to have to yell at the kids that they can't come behind me because I'm doing something on the screen that's more adult than they need to be seeing.
Right.
And so it was like I had to face I had to angle it a certain way, so when people came in the kitchen, it wasn't directly looking at my screen or whatever. And then there was the issue with streaming, and then the in and out of it. I'm not gonna be like, get out of the kitchen, you can't have breakfast. I am live streaming with that.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of
type
strange.
shit.
Yeah.
So so now I'm in the bedroom. And it's what it is. This is actually the best place for me. I just hate it, and I'm sulking because I just went around. It's like orbiting the earth. Like I just went around and came back to the same exact fucking place I started. And it's like, for 2 years I've been shifting shit around, and I should just sat my ass right here.
Right. I
like to make things complicated.
Well, you know what it is? You have to get a feel for something first before you actually commit to it. You know what I mean? True. What, you were broadcasting from the closet. Oh, thank you. Hey, Judy. Thank you. That you've been broadcasting from the closet, which here in New York would be a studio apartment.
It really would be. Actually, this one, if we put a loft in there, could be considered a 1-bedroom.
Right, for real. It's like
the closet's fucking huge. I swear to God.
And you know, it's like, yeah, I guess it's like you were feeling like they just got to a point where you were feeling isolated. And it's like,
because it's like the way it like in the bedroom, if I leave the bedroom door open, I'm straight down the hall. So if the kids are walking through or whatever while I'm working, we can talk, we can discuss lunch, whatever. And nobody's in here seeing what I'm doing. Whereas when I'm in the closet, you have to go around the corner from the hallway and then take a left.
Right.
The closet. So it's like I was sitting there, no windows, no circuit, no ventilation.
Right.
Just in this dark, depressing room.
Right. Well, you still have to fix it up, right? I mean,
that's what it is.
Right. Oh, brother. So
no, this is a nice closet. This closet would be 24.
Right. Actually, yeah, no, it's like the rents here are
it's like right across. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the rents here are kind of crazy. So, you know. Oh my goodness. I mean, because I think like to even get an $1,800 a month, you have to be like all the way, you have to be in like either in the Bronx or in deep Queens, you know, where you have to like take like 3 buses just to get to the train station. So
oh gosh.
Yeah, it's really complicated here. Oh my goodness. So so the funny thing about today, right, is that I'm feeling kind of like this. You know, I mean, it's just like it's kind of awkward.
How you are.
You know, it's like it's kind of like a little awkward, but you know what? It's like I think that in spite of what's going on, it is our responsibility as creators to continue to bring beauty into the world, I guess, you know, to bring, you know, like hope through our artwork, whatever it is. If not just the escapism. We too are ready to help you detach.
Yay!
You know, yeah, what is it, that thing that they say that it's like when you're when it's like when you kind of like mentally, there's a specific word for it when you mentally detach, and it's not
it's disassociate.
There we go. That's
that's the word of the day.
It's the word of the day. The secret word of the day is disassociate. So yes, so no matter what's going on, so I think it's our responsibility to help you get through it with what we get, you know, what we give, you know, what we bring forth. You know, it's like the importance of the arts, right? And what better to do that than with a nice little unicorn fantasy in these trying times. So, like I said, EGORAVEN, Heir the First Unicorn. This is issue 12. And we're going to give it like about a couple of more minutes before we go live. And so this is issue 12 of a 16-issue series. And EGORAVEN, Heir the First Unicorn is the story of a unicorn princess exiled into the mortal realm who trains to become a knight, hoping to win a king's favor and save her people. And in this issue, EGORAVEN, the rightful heir of the enchanted kingdom of Edenron, faces the elf prince Rillian, boo, and a trio of elves, boo, from her past, challenging her right to lead and rule. Even with her friends by her side, yay, the unicorn princess is forced to prove herself again, not only to protect her home, but the entire realm. In and if you're looking for themes, EGORAVEN is the story of trying to find your place in two opposite worlds and learning the people who will stand by your side and lift you up are not the ones you'd expect. So it's a sword and sorcery fantasy with a soap opera twist featuring character relationship centered stories with unicorns, elves, dragons, and furries, because of course. So it's already 11:15. So I am going to hit the button. I'm going to go hit the button. And it's always nerve-wracking when I do this because I'm always afraid that I forgot something on the campaign that'll keep it from launching. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. I am ready to launch. And of course, we accept launch project. Ladies and gentlemen, and let me just refresh here.
Ta-da!
And here we go. Ta-da. We are live. So EGORAVEN, Heir of the First Unicorn, issue 12 is now live. Yes, we will accept all of the cookies. So like I said, EGORAVEN is the story of a unicorn princess who is being challenged by 3 bullies from her past in order for her to, when she comes back to Edenron, to pretty much take her place as heir of the valley. And yeah, there's some people who are just not having it. So for those of you who are following along with how long the series is, this is the 5th to last book of the series. So as you can see on the chart, we are right here. You are here, which means that after this issue, we will have 4 more issues left to finish this story, which still blows my mind. It again, I must have said this a billion times. It felt just like yesterday I was putting out issue 1 trying to figure all this out, and now we are literally in the final stretch of the story arc. So for those of you who are wondering like who this story is for, this series is for, so EGORAVEN draws inspiration from Dungeons and Dragons, The Last Unicorn, and The Lord of the Rings, along with a whole bunch of other things. As you can see on the screen, it takes a lot of inspiration from things I grew up with and things that I just recently hyperfixated on. So but pretty much, I mean, if there is a genesis for the story, it's definitely, think of Lord of the Rings, it's Lord of the Rings, but mostly think of The Last Unicorn and Lodoss Wars, and you pretty much get EGORAVEN, at least vibe wise. So now the thing is though, it's like it is a mature fantasy series, so it's not exactly something you would just want to give blindly to your kids. This has fantasy violence and adult situations, and and also it's like, Rillian is just really a horrible character to read. Especially in this issue. So yeah, so I wouldn't recommend just giving it to your kids without checking it out yourself. Honestly, this is more of an adult fantasy book, not necessarily like adult, but just like a fantasy for adults. So that's, so probably like 14 and up, maybe, but again, it's like this is at parental discretion. But if you want to check it out without committing to the campaign just yet, you can download a sampler of the very first issue. So you get a 16-page sampler issue. Is it possible to get the early bird special and the sketch cover options for EGORAVEN 12? You know what's funny? Now that you mention it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put I'll put the sketch cover option in the add-on section. So after the show, I'll do that. If you want to, like, you can place your pledge and then give me until after the show, and I will add the sketch cover option as an add-on. So anybody who wants to do that can go ahead and do that. So thank you for reminding me. I know I always miss something setting up these campaigns. So let me just write that on my notes. So it's like add sketch cover to add-on as to add-ons. So yeah, so if you want to pledge to the early bird special, go ahead, and I will add the add-ons after the. Well, I would add the sketch cover to the add-ons after the show. So and as they had mentioned, there is an early bird special where for $15, not only do you get EGORAVEN issue 12. Hard copy and the PDF, but you also get a set of the EGORAVEN novelization chapters 1 through 10, which corresponds with issues 1 through 10. And you get them in both a PDF and an EPUB version, which allows you to read the book on your e-reader, whichever e-reader that you're using, whether it's Kindle or Kobo. If it accepts EPUB files, you can use that to read it on your thank you, Ben. Thank you. You can use it to read it on your e-reader. And this is the novelization is a direct novelization of the comic book series. So except the difference is that it includes extended and brand new scenes. So you get to enjoy the comic, but in a completely different way. Also, if you you prefer to like read, it's like, because I remember back when I was a kid, I would read the novelizations to movies, and I figured this would be a fun thing to do for the comic book, just giving people a different way to read the story. Because also the novelization allows me to put in scenes and just be able to put in all this extra lore that in the comic book would just bloat it up and kind of like slow down the pacing, because not everything can fit in a comic book. But in a novel, it allows me a lot more room to breathe.
And so, look at these amazing covers.
Absolutely. I've been having, so the covers are from my fan favorite, Jaden Lanning, complete relation to the Below Lanning. And it's like, so she's been doing the covers for the novelization. So these are the 10 so far that have been done. And so if you want to check out a different version of EGORAVEN, the early bird specials for 48 hours only. So once that's gone, you have to, we're going to have to wait until the next campaign to get this format of the novelization. Also, with this campaign, everyone is going to get a free art postcard with their pledge. So this is the next entry in the EGORAVEN cosplay series that I've been just playing around with and having a lot of fun with. So this one, it's Daniel and EGORAVEN cosplaying as the main characters from the adult visual novel Seeds of Chaos, which I have been obsessing on again. It's a game it's an adult game that I've been playing on and off for the past 5 years. And the last couple of months, I have been really getting back into it and playing all the different scenarios that the game offers for the characters. And because of that, I felt it was very appropriate to create this brand new cosplay print that everyone is going to get. Physical backers are going to get a postcard. Digital backers are going to get a digital version of the postcard as well that you can print out. So here are the first couple of pages of the issue, sample pages for you to get kind of an idea as to how the story starts in this issue. And also on this campaign, as always, is my illustrated prose prequel, EGORAVEN Legend of the Silk Rose. It takes place about like 20-something years before the first issue. And, and it pretty much details the story of how EGORAVEN's parents actually met, and the story, and that family dynamic ends up a little bit more complicated than you would think. So this is a short story that is actually, you don't need to read it, but to get the gist if you're reading the comic book story, but this is heavily referenced in this issue. So if you want to make sure you get the entire, thank you, Jody. Thank you. If you want to get the entire story that goes with the main comic book series, then I would highly, highly recommend you getting this novel. It's a short story. It's not a novel. As always, I have all the books available as levels, and every book, the issue is going to have a PDF version of it. So you can buy just the PDF version, or with the physical copy, you're going to get a physical and a digital copy of that book as well. If you're just seeing this for the first time and it's like, you know what, I don't really want to start on issue 12, but I am intrigued by this, you have the Start from the Beginning level, which is the volume 1 trade paperback, which collects issues 1 through 4 of the series. So if you wanted to get a real taste of what this series is about, volume 1 is where you can start. If you're a completist, whether a digital completist or a physical completist, I have that too, you can pick up PDFs of the entire series so far as individual issues, or you can pick them up as trade paperbacks. So we do have a set that has the volumes 1, volume 2, and then the 4 issues to end that chapter, and then Silk Rose and the Tales from the Outer Kingdoms, which is a collection of short stories which add to the lore of the story, but it's more like lighthearted in nature, just pretty much stories about how EGORAVEN is just living outside of her kingdom and just integrating herself into the human mortal world. So and there's this one story which really adds to the lore of the story. So like I said, you can get all the individual issues so far. And here is the sketch cover variant that you can get, which I will be adding the sketch cover as an individual add-on after the show, because of course it had to be the one thing that I forgot to do. So if you want, you can get issue 12 with a PDF and with an original sketch cover of issue 12 by me. It's a random sketch cover. It's not a commission, but if you like to collect original artwork, this is the level to pick up. Also, we have the usual add-ons. We have every book is available as an add-on. It has the trading cards, and also it has the infamous EGORAVEN Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut set. So it's the Unicorn King's Daughter and Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut as a set. This was a special alternate universe story that I did that was originally was a Facebook joke that got out of hand. So if you're looking for something a little bit more very adult, and just like it's a self-contained story. Both books are self-contained, but both books kind of serve as probably one would be like a PG-13 version of the story, and the other one would be an X-rated version of the story. They kind of it's kind of like the same story, but with different endings. But they're only available as a set, which you can pick up on the campaign. Also, if you missed any of my previous campaigns from my other book, Tall Tales, that is also available on the campaign in both PDF and hard copy edition. I recently restocked all of the missing trade paperbacks that were sold out for a bit. So now they're available on the campaign. So if you want to try out Tall Tales as well, that's also on the campaign, and you can pick everything up together. If you are new to Kickstarter, I have this handy infographic here to walk you through how to pledge to the campaign, what to expect, and how Kickstarter just works in general. Pretty much the long and the short of it. The book is done. I'll show you that in a minute. The book is done. It has been proofed. So the hope, barring any other printing mishaps, the books will be printed. Once the campaign ends, it takes me about a week to kind of sort through everything. I send it to the printer, and then within 2 weeks, I should have the books back, and then I will start fulfilling. So it'll take about like 3 weeks-ish for me to start fulfilling the campaign. So this is not one of those things where it's like you're waiting a year to get the books, to get what you order. It's not Amazon, but it's not something crazy where you're just waiting 6 months to a year, if not longer, to get an individual comic. These books will be delivering to your door about a month after the campaign closes. So, this is of course ends on my little bio here. All the other books that I've done. Speaking of Tenchi Muyo, there's also something else that I would like to show in a bit as well. And also just some nice little comments from people who've read EGORAVEN and enjoyed it. And hopefully that will also encourage you to pick up the book as well. That this is hopefully this is something that you resonate with, and you get to enjoy. So thank you so much to the 9 backers who have currently pledged $362 so far to the campaign. We have 28 days to go. So this is going to be ending on March 30th. So you have plenty of time to pledge, but why wait? So if this is something that intrigues you, please support the campaign. That's pretty much it for now. But so there you go. So there you have it. That is EGORAVEN issue 12. Now live. Oh, let me try this. Hold on. Oh, okay. Hold on. I was playing around with the ticker, and I realized that now, let's see, they have the option. So now we can put it.
Oh, we can put it on top or bottom.
Right. Yeah. I was very happy with that. So that means that I don't have to adjust the card so that it's not blocking anything. So there we have it. So yeah, so like I was saying, EGORAVEN is complete. I got these 2 days ago from the printer. So this is literally the comic you will be getting when the campaign ends. So so if pledge with confidence, I would say, because it's done. It's right here. I literally have it in hand. There's no waiting for that. Like I said, barring any printer mishap, but we hadn't had that in a long while. So I don't think that that's going to be an issue. Another thing that happened this weekend, which I want to show off, is Jose JD, who's also the writer of Tall Tales and the Oswald Chronicles and Dreamweavers and all those other good books, he joined up with the people from Armiger Entertainment for a signing for the Tenchi Muyo collection, which was on Kickstarter last year. And for those of you who don't know, it's like Jose JD, me, and Matthew Lunsford, we were one of the very first crews to actually bring anime adaptations to the United States. So what we worked on was a Tenchi Muyo original series, which is an original story that was done with the blessing of the creator of Tenchi Muyo. And this was around, I think this was around like 98. I think we did the original story. We did this original printing around like 98. And then last year, Armature Entertainment was able to get the rights to make their own Kickstarter collecting the entire series that we did back then with CPM. With Pioneer Comics. CPM was La Blue Girl. We did La Blue Girl with CPM. Tenchi we did with Pioneer. So he spent the entire day Saturday, signing books to send out to backers to the campaign. If you are interested in still getting a copy, you can contact, I think, Armature Entertainment directly. I think they still have copies. And, so I was really, really impressed as to how the book came out. So this is the hardcover edition that they put out. So they have a hardcover and a soft cover, and and like I said, so JD wrote the story, Matthew did the artwork, and my contribution is the lettering. So I lettered the book. And so this book it's an original story based on the Tenchi Muyo universe. Whatever the earliest one is, I know because it spreads out into different types of Tenchi series, but this is from whatever the original one that came out in 98, I think. So so this is not an adaptation from an anime. This is a story that we were contracted to create, and like I said, this was all done with the blessing of the creator of Tenchi Muyo, and now it's in like this really nice collection of in one. I'm really happy with how this came out. Because it's like, what it is, it's like, I'm so used, it's like I do this, most of the time, setting up books and everything, and and I'm always getting a little worried whenever someone else is setting up our books for us, even though technically it wasn't for us. They got the rights to do it, and it was just really nice to get this book in hand and seeing that it's like, okay, you know what, it's like, this is actually really, really nice. So this is also another book that we worked on. So when I say in my Kickstarter that I worked on Tenchi Muyo, this is the book that I'm talking about. So like I said, so the you can go to Armature Entertainment. You can actually find them on Kickstarter. Just look up Tenchi Muyo on Kickstarter, and you'll probably be able to pick up a copy of your own from them as well. So so that's kind of like the two biggest things that kind of like were keeping me busy, I guess. Actually commissions were keeping me busy. I've been catching up on commissions from the House of Bob campaign. So I have like I'm just finishing up the last one from this particular batch. I have them broken up into batches, and I'm just working on a last sketch cover, which let's see, how can I do this? How can I do this? So I'm working on sketch covers for the House of Bob campaign, and Yeah, unfortunately, it's like I can't really show anything considering what House of Bob is. And if you don't know what House of Bob is is my
it's fucking furries.
Yeah, it's for it literally and figuratively. It is my collection of erotic furry artwork that I have been putting together in collecting in sketchbooks for people to collect. Now, mind you, to be fair, not everything is a dirty sketchbook. I do have, like, this is my mermaids sketchbook, which is one of my favorite ones. And maybe let me just, at least this one I can show off because it's not a dirty one. So it's like, so every year I've been for the past, since last year, last year. And the year before that, I've started to collect my artwork into these sketchbooks. And then offering them up on Kickstarter, along with the ability to get personalized commissions from me, because with doing all the work that I'm doing, commissions are not really something that I offer on the regular. So I do the House of Bob campaign to give people the opportunity to get artwork from me and my sketchbooks, especially with the way online is being, especially with adult artwork. This gives me the opportunity to collect my artwork in books that people can actually purchase and have on their shelves, instead of kind of like depending on an online archive and then hoping that people don't get sticks up their asses and decide, oh, furry artwork, we're not allowed to have furry artwork because MasterCard said so, type of thing, right? So this is an analog way of collecting my artwork of that type. So that's House of Bob, and I've been working on commissions for that. Also, another thing that I wanted to bring up. So let me just close this. Right. So for those of you who remember, who care, I mean, it's really kind of really funny. It's like, oh, did that many people really know? So before Indie Comics Network, right? Nita, that was a YouTube channel that Nita had founded and ran for about 5 years.
Yep.
And we've had a lot of fun with that channel. We had a lot of comics creators come and go on that on the channel, doing live streams and draw streams and interview shows, and all related to indie comics. So before the end of the year, Nita decided that she kind of ran her course with running the channel. So me and Jose took over the channel. We cleaned it up a bit. We kind of narrowed the focus even more on indie comics. And, so far so good. Everybody seems to be enjoying it so far. But we decided that once we had Indie Comics Network, that we were going to take it to a next step that I don't think Nita was even thinking about. But once we ended up with it, we were going, oh, we could do this. So, so Indie Comics Network right now is not only a YouTube channel, but Indie Comics Network is now a publisher. So what we are doing is that we've decided that we were going to start working with creators who, for some reason or another, they cannot run Kickstarters on their own. So in this case, our first book under the Indie Comics Network publishing banner is Rod Espinosa's Adventure Finders Volume 1. This is a webcomic that he has been serializing. Hold on, where's my channel. Where's my tab? He has been serializing this comic on his Patreon. And because he's located in the Philippines, he cannot run a Kickstarter for it. So we got together and we're helping him run a Kickstarter under Indie Comics Network for Adventure Finders. So this is going to be the first collection of Adventure Finders. For those of you who are not familiar with Rod Espinoza, he's known. He's a prominent indie creator who's worked a lot with Antarctic Press and Dark Horse, and he is, at least to me, he's especially known for a book called The Courageous Princess. And that's how I first knew about him back in the day. And now I'm helping putting together a book for him for this, for his new story, which is about a group of young adventurers who decide that they want to see the world. And it's kind of like a combination of Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings, a little bit of Game of Thrones. But it's all kind of like, it's a really fun adventure story. Like, I'm putting it together and I'm reading it and I'm like going, this is a book I want. So it's on pre-launch right now on Kickstarter. So the link, actually, I should probably put the link in the chat as well. But just go to Kickstarter, look for Adventure Finders, and that's going to be us right there. So we don't have an official date yet to launch, but it will be soon, probably in about like a month or a month and a half. We're looking. So right now we're just looking to gather up and see how many followers we can get, and then we're going to launch the campaign. So make sure, if you are interested in this, you hit that notify me button, and and you get an email from Kickstarter when the campaign goes live. So that's where we're taking Indie Comics Network, Nita. We're turning Indie Comics Network into a channel and a publishing house. What do you think?
I have it.
Oh, you hit the notify me?
Something's wrong with my audio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm trying to...
So you're all lagged out, pretty much.
Hold on. I'm on mute for a few minutes. Right. I'm trying to arrange everything.
All right, sure. There you go. So we're looking forward to seeing how that campaign does. And see like how many, like how far we can take that, so we'll see. Also, while Nita is working on her audio, another thing that I found myself committed to is as somebody who is doing my own comic, right? And I do most of my own artwork. A thing that I rarely do, but when I do, I really do try to take it seriously, is I commission other artists to do artwork for me. Like I said, I don't do this a lot, usually because I'm cheap. But also it's like, for me, it's kind of like, part of the reason why I don't commission artists a lot. And the ones that I do, it's like, I'm usually like, okay, you're stuck with me kind of thing. Like with Jaden, it takes me a while to find somebody with a style that I feel like really represents the book the way I envision it, right? like the very first person that I commissioned for EGORAVEN back at issue 1 was Mary Bellamy, who she was a regular artist for My Little Pony for IDW. And I just thought the idea of having a My Little Pony cover for EGORAVEN was really funny. But not only that, in a certain way, I felt that it still fit what I imagined, even though it's like, it's not My Little Pony. It's just, I found it humorous, but also, it's My Little Pony. Wouldn't it, and it, to this day, that remains one of my favorite pieces. And so Nita had to duck out. So, that remained one of my favorite pieces, which I intend on bringing back for one of the future campaigns. I would like to do that, just bring back all of the covers that I had commissioned, just so everyone will be able to have their opportunity to collect them before I kind of discontinue them as variant covers altogether. Commissioning artists is always a challenging thing because, one, it's like you just have the overall trust issue. Well, it's like, you have the artists that have, been kind of screwed over before by people who say they were going to pay and not pay, and they do the work and they never pay. Or if you're on the other side, you're a commissioner and you've been burnt by artists who have been, who just take your money and run type of thing. So it's always like this weird kind of negotiating dance as to kind of well, we don't kind of trust each other, but we kind of have to in order to get this process started. And, and there's also a third thing that kind of gets in the way of commissioning people, for, if you're if you just want something personal or for variant covers or what have you. And that is, do you actually like the piece you're getting, at the end of it? You're spending money, and sometimes getting a piece that you like is kind of hit or miss. And honestly, I think that's that I wouldn't know if that's the toughest thing, it's I don't know. It's would you rather have an artist run off with your money or give you a piece that you don't like? It's oh, the money is lost either way, right? So, but like I said, it's kind of like a dance that you have to do between the commissioner and the artist. And, as an artist, it's I kind of know, it's really funny. Like you would think I would know the dance, but at the same time, it's but, it's yeah, I know why you're doing this, but still, right? So, but in the end, though, it's all the people that I've commissioned, everything went smoothly, essentially. I've never had anything kind of go really haywire. But like I said, it's because I don't really commission people that much. So when I do, it's Jose has more horror stories because he's constantly commissioning artwork for Oswald and Dreamweavers and Magi's Grace. So, he technically has a lot more opportunities to have a lot more things go wrong, and then it's look, all you can do is just learn from those, learn from that, and, just make sure the next one, so this particular one, I had been wanting to get a commission for a while, but it was always well, it's I have the will, but not the money. Or if I have the money or not the will, right? That's my thing, especially for, I felt, especially for me, this is kind of I don't know. Is it accurate to say it was a little high on my budget when I'm cheap as crazy? Like, I'm cheap as fuck. So it's like spending money on artwork is kind of like just not something I do anyway. So maybe it's not accurate to say that this was a little above my budget, but it is let's just say the amount of money that I'm spending is kind of pushing my comfort zone and spending money for artwork. And it just finally got to a point where it's like, you know what? It's like either I do this or I don't do this. It's like I've been wishy-washy about it. And I just committed to my first Zhang Brothers cover. And I am excited and terrified at the same time. You know, so for those of you who are not familiar with the Zhang Brothers, they do a lot of variant covers. Mostly they're known for like their sexy type covers. They do a lot of work for Ethereal Comics. They've done work for Astral Izumi's Isaac Fox's books, like Suck You Busted, and you know, and it does work for them. He's done work for, I think they've done some Lady Death stuff as well. Oh, duh, they especially do a lot of work for Dan Mendoza and Sugar Pop, especially for Sugar Pop and Zombie Tramp. So that's really where you would know the Zhang Brothers from. And I've been eyeballing their stuff for a while. And about a couple of months ago, they had finally put out a piece that finally made me go, I have to make a decision. And in my cheap-fisted way, I tried to talk myself out of it by saying, it's like, I don't know if I would like it, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I can see what I could do. And then it's like, but in the end, I had to realize it's like, no. It's not that I didn't like the piece. I was just really trying to convince myself not to commit to buying a piece from them, right? So now I was at the point where it's like, okay, so we're going to make this commitment. I know it's going to cost me roughly around a certain amount of money, right? Because it's like, I don't want to say how much, because it depends, because depending on what you ask for, is the price is going to change. So I chose a specific thing that I wanted, that I knew was going to cost X amount. And I go, okay, how do I get to this? Okay, so now my next step is making sure I get a piece that I really want, right? And that I'm really going to like. And one of the things that I've done in the past that I felt was a big mistake, and I know a lot of people do it like this too, like where we kind of have an idea as to what we want, but we also at the same time want to give the artist the creative leeway to interpret that idea. Because in the end, if I was going to be hyper specific, I might as well just draw it myself. But that's kind of not the point. Oh, finally?
Okay. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. So so I finally committed to a piece from the Zhang Brothers.
Ooh.
So now the next step that I was talking about is making sure that I get a piece that I really like. Now, I don't want to be hyper specific and micromanage the process, because for that, I might as well just draw it myself.
Right.
But at the same time, I also want to make sure that I set this whole process up in a way where I get a piece I actually like. Because I was just mentioning before, like, which is worse, having an artist steal your money or paying an artist for a piece you don't like?
Huh.
You know, like, which is worse, right? So this was the first time, because I was spending what I felt in my cheap way is a significant amount of money. I wanted to like take out any doubt as to what I was looking for. And this is the first time that I decided to make a brief for them, for the Zhang brothers, so that they really know what I'm looking for. And yeah, so it's like, so they, yeah. So what I did was I collected a whole bunch of images that I had in mind, that I had this very specific image in mind. Actually, I think it might be, let me see. Let me try to find, because it's a PDF that I made for them. Where did I put it? You know, for anybody who, you know, who doesn't quite know what I'm talking about, and you know, they want to see like how I went about it. Where is it? Where are you? Ah, here you are. Okay. So let me put this here. Okay, so let me share what I sent them. Window. Yeah, here it is. That's what I need. Okay, so what I did was I created a brief where I pretty much explained what I wanted. So there's a promotional image that can be used as a cover. Please leave room for the logo. So I put my blank template there to show them like how much space proportionately the logo takes. So then I imagine the scene, right? So in this thing, it's like I go, EGORAVEN is posing with Arias, the first unicorn, she's a unicorn goddess, essentially, in a grove surrounded by flowers, various shades of pinks, blues, red, roses, full body characters, and there's going to be a nude variant of this cover. And the inspiration that I told them to think about was it's somewhat stylized. Think The Last Unicorn meets Lodos Wars.
Right.
And then I gave them examples of kind of like just vibing. This is what I'm like, kind of like a Pinterest board kind of thing. Right. And what I made sure to include was the piece that the Zhang brothers did. So this is an example of the Zhang brothers artwork. And that's the piece that I saw that made me go, just get the fucking commission already. I tried to talk myself out of it, but I knew it was only because I was trying to talk myself out of it to not spend the money. And in the end, it didn't make any sense. And I figured, you know what? Just spend the money, just get it done. You know, you'll have this really nice looking piece. So, because also it's like a mistake that I did with one of previous commissions, not with Jaden, but with a previous commission that I had gotten, was that I didn't include examples of what the artist had done that attracted me to their style to begin with. And I didn't want to make that mistake here. So that's why I included this very specific piece, because it's like, okay, this is the image that made me go, yes, they can do an EGORAVEN piece. I just have to stop being an asshole about it. You know? So I created this mood board. And then of course hold on. I just realized I cannot scroll. Because it shows pictures of a naked EGORAVEN, because they're going to give me a nude version. So, okay, right. Take my word for it. So the next one is, let me see how low I can go. Okay, I can do it right there. I can stop right there. So what I did was I put two variant covers that I had done already, two variant nude covers that I'd done already. And I go, okay, this is, because it also had the vibe that I was looking for from them. And I told them what I was looking for. This is the, this is the covers that I did before. This is part of what I'm looking for, blah, blah, and just explaining to them. But honestly, and then the last page is the reference for EGORAVEN and Arias, the unicorn guardian. So, but this part here, I felt was the most important part that I was looking for. That to get them to really understand what I wanted. And they said that it's like, oh, it's like, we can do it for X amount. I just can't get to it until March. And I go, fine. We'll do that. And then like yesterday, like clockwork, one of the brothers sends me a sketch. They send me a rough sketch of the piece that they're going to be doing. And all I can say is that I am very, very happy that the brief worked. I don't want to show it because I don't want to jinx anything, although I am excited about it. Even though it's just a very rough sketch, it shows me enough that it's like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. I'm going to really enjoy this piece. And yeah, so it's like, so far so good in the end. So I told them to go ahead and send me the invoice, which I paid. And that's also kind of like the thing too. It's like they sent me the sketch, which made me trusting enough to go, okay, I am going to pay you in full. Because they said that because I never worked with them before, they required payment up front, which I'm fine with, But the fact that they showed me a sketch meant that they trusted me enough to start work on it before payment. So I felt that put us on a nice even footing where it's like, well, here's the sketch. Can I send you the invoice? And I go, absolutely, you can send me the invoice. And I paid it this morning. It still made me hiss. It still made me go, but I think it's going to be worth it. I really do. So yeah. So for those of you who are kind of like, who want to commission people, you haven't before, or if you have, you kind of had kind of bad reactions to it. You had like a bad, I would recommend I would recommend, I don't know why I didn't do this before with my previous commissions, except for Jaden. Jaden's the only one I never had to like really do that with. Is to create a brief. You don't have to draw it out for them. But honestly, if you can even just do stick figures, if you literally have an idea, but it's like you can only do stick figures, send the stick figures and then send the rest of what, like the rest of kind of like your inspiration board as to what you're looking for in this piece, to kind of like, the more reference you give to the artist, the more likely you're going to get a piece that you really, really like at the end, that you're going to say, this was worth the money. As someone doing commissions right now, that's honestly, the people who send me reference are the ones who like, they really make it easy, the easiest for me to do artwork for them. It's like, look, it's like in the end, it's like, if you're just like, oh, do whatever you want, it's fine. It's like, it's still helpful to kind of like give us a path as to where you want us to go, because, it's like, yeah, it's kind of, sometimes it's kind of like making somebody choose You know, it's like, oh, where do you want to eat? I don't know, just choose someplace. Like, okay, we'll go Chinese food. Oh, I don't want Chinese food, but you just told me to choose, right? If you had a preference, then that's not a choice. You know, then why didn't you say you had a preference? So yeah, so it's a lot easier when you're commissioning people to give us that guideline as to what you're looking for. Even if you're not particularly looking for something, trust me, in the end, you really are. Like, even if it's, even if it's like, well, I know what I don't want, right? So, okay, if you know what you don't want, then make sure we know that. It's like something's better than nothing, so yeah, so it's like, so I found making this brief for the commission, doing this commission, yeah, it helped me. I kind of like settle my nerves, especially, like I said, with the amount of money that I'm spending on this commission. And like I said, it's like, look, whether it's $100 or $1,000, if you don't want to spend that money because you're just being cheap, it doesn't matter what the amount is. But the more you prepare yourself to at least get artwork you really like back, it really mitigates the pain. As weird as that sounds. Because the funny thing is that for as much as I was really hesitating to buy this commission, but at the same time, I really, really, really wanted a Zhang Brothers artwork, I'm already thinking of the next piece I want to get from them. You know what it is? I think it's kind of like, what people say about getting your first tattoo. That it's like you can spend years, right, thinking about your first tattoo, and you finally commit to it, and you're not, and the second you pay for that tattoo, you're already on the next one. Like, and I think that's kind of like what's happening here, where it's like, it's like that I'm already like, I barely got this first commission from them, and now I'm thinking I'm already putting the brief together for the next cover that I want from them. Oh, this is so sad. Well, no, it's not sad. It's not sad. I honestly, it's like, I think this is exciting because this, yeah, like I said, it's like, I think you guys are really going to enjoy this piece. I know I am. You guys are really going to like this piece. And then it's like, it's just kind of figuring out, how am I going to do these, like, reveal these pieces in the Kickstarters. Like, I'm thinking about, like, should I take this cover and should I put it on the trade paperback as a variant, as an issue 1 variant, or should I save it for issue 13, where I can do the last 4? Like, if I buy 4 Zhang Brothers pieces, I can do a variant cover for each of the last 4 issues of EGORAVEN. It's like already, it's like I barely got the piece, and I'm already like trying to figure out the logistics of what I'm going to do with the pieces. Although, honestly, though, the biggest commission that I really want to get from them is for the last issue. And I want to get like a wraparound cover with like all of the characters, kind of like an anime poster type of wraparound cover. Well, that was going to be a little pricey, but because it's the last issue, I really do feel like we should really go all out with that last issue. Which leads me to the other point of the fact that there is, like, this is the breaking news. Hold on. Hold on. I would like to thank everybody, the 24 people who have helped get EGORAVEN, heir of the first unicorn to goal on the show. Thank you so much. We are at goal. We are funded. Thank you so much to everybody who's pledged to the campaign so far. And yeah, and it's like, and we have 27 days to go on the campaign. So God knows where we could end up with that. Thank you for helping me pay for my Strong Brothers cover. No, but really though, I'm really excited about this piece that I ordered. And like I said, I'm already thinking about how I can incorporate more Zhang Brothers pieces into this final stretch for the series. You know, and it's like, and I'm really excited to do that. So no, but yeah, but that was like kind of the thing that this, thank you, like I said, thank you so much everybody for that. Right. Oh, okay. So Nita says, oh, well, Lorraine says it's not cheap, it's economic insecurity. Right. Right. Nita says that her equipment is acting up. So she's hopefully by next week she'll have everything put together again. But so you know, but yeah, it's like okay, so Rob, okay, so let's see. Oh, well, so Joe D is, I guess he's talking about the Tenchi books. I didn't sign them. It was Jose and Matthew who were signing the books. I stayed home and worked. So yeah, so if you ordered the Tenchi Muyo book, you're getting it signed by JD. And it's either signed by Matthew or you got the remark version, which has like a little sketch inside. Oh yes, it's hard to get the Lage seal of the seal of Lage quality and approval. It is. I am, you know. I'm very picky. And especially when it comes to EGORAVEN, it's like, you know, it's like. Oh, so Rob says that JD and I are back at it tomorrow night. So what Rob Notari is referencing is his show of Mice and Wolves with JD Calderon, where they invite guests on to talk about whatever questions they may have about crowdfunding, and then it's kind of like a roundtable as to like how to like solve these issues. So let me see. I'd rather have a piece you don't like over ran off with money. I could figure out something to do with the art piece. Logically, yes. As long as you have the piece, even if you don't like it, you could still use it for something else. Let's see. And he says there's a difference in being cheap as fuck and managing a good investment. This is coming from having commissions done by people. Oh yeah, I've done stuff for Joe D as well and Greg Horn. Yeah, you know, I mean that's true, because it's like, you know, the irony of the Zhang brothers is that from what I've seen, even though they've worked with Polito and Mendoza, you know, these are not. There's certain artists on campaigns that make money based on their variant covers just for, you know, who they are. You know, like they're like, you know, like if this artist is doing a variant cover, that variant cover is going to be the big money maker on the campaigns. But Rob says Kat Calamia and Phil Falco use them a lot too, the Zhang brothers. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, they're on my radar for future covers. Yeah. And then I guess Rob picks up, you know, mentions the thing that I'm about to talk about. He says that depends on the artist. If they have a name, at least their audience will pay for the art because they want all of that artist stuff. Right. So the ironic thing about it is that for what I've noticed with the Zhang brothers is that I feel that they are incredibly, incredibly underrated, which is kind of strange, but also at the same time, selfishly, that works in my favor because it still makes them affordable for me. You know, I'm still able to access them, you know, as they're accessible to me in terms of getting artwork from them. You know, it's like they haven't like priced themselves out of the market. I still think their prices are reasonable for what I'm getting. And, you know, but the thing is, though, is that like it as a Kickstarter variant cover, there are a lot of other artists that are known for like being the money makers, right? But I think the thing that I've noticed with the Zhang brothers is that they might not be top sellers, but they are very respected for their skill, for the artwork that they do by the people buying them. Like in the end, Polito doesn't, like Mendoza and Polito, they don't hire them because these are big money makers. They hire them because these are incredibly skilled individuals who will do beautiful artwork for you. Right. And you buy that artwork and you want that artwork as a creator because you want that artwork. Like, I like this piece, even if I just sell one copy of a variant cover, I bought that artwork for me first, you know, and whether it makes its money back on a variant cover, it's really kind of irrelevant to me because like, no, I want that artwork, you know, like I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to like hang a printout of that piece once once I get it, you know, because it's like I have to put it out here somewhere, you know. Let's see. Let's see. Right. So okay. So yeah, we ended up right. It's like you know, so I'm just so yeah, so I'm already trying to like plan out how I'm going to use these future pieces that I want to end the series. Oh, and that was also the other thing that I wanted to talk about, right? Because it's like that's been kind of like my focus for especially like the last year when it comes to this series, is bringing it to its conclusion as a comic book series. Now, it doesn't mean that there isn't more afterwards, because there's plenty of stories that I have. You know, I have 2 novels. I have all these short stories. You know, I may have more comic book shorts that I want to do, you know, afterwards. But, you know, finishing the 16 issues is such a huge goal for me, because a lot of people don't do it. A lot of creators don't finish their stories. And I don't want to be those people. You know, I don't want to be like, oh, it's like, you know, and mind you, it's bad enough that there's probably plenty of people who think that I'm being that person when it comes to Tall Tales. Because like I had 2 issues. I have 2 issues left to finish the second story arc of Tall Tales, and then me and Jose have to work on the last story arc, and I think part of it, and so a lot of that has to do with, let me get EGORAVEN finished, then I can finish the second story arc of Tall Tales, and then we can really finish the last story arc of Tall Tales and get everything complete. And it's like there's just something about finishing that I am, you know, that I'm just like really, really excited to do. And, you know, what's kind of funny is seeing, like, realizing that getting this Zhang Brothers piece is kind of like a build up to the final reward of that last issue. You know, so it's like, yeah, so it's like, you know, there's that large wraparound poster thing that I want to do for that last issue. And it's like, well, if I start getting Zhang Brothers pieces now, maybe I can get a Zhang Brothers piece for those last issues until I get to the last issue. So I have like this collection, this small collection, you know, and and I just find it like just very exciting to hit these milestones. So in the end, buying this piece was a milestone in and of itself, because it kind of like broke my anxiety of spending money on artwork that I know is going to be worth it, and yeah, and like I said, I really can't wait, for you guys to see this piece, because like I say, I saw a sketch and I go, oh, yeah, it's, you know what? I have to admit, Joe, I have to admit, like I said, between the Zhang brothers and Jaden, I am just on cloud 9 when it comes to getting artwork for EGORAVEN. So yeah, so that's, so we're just hitting the end here. So I just want to thank everybody again for pledging to EGORAVEN issue 12. As you can see, we have already made goal. So we don't, so now it's just 27 days till the end of the campaign. We don't have to worry about it, about whether we're going to hit goal or not, even though I always worry about that every time I launch a campaign, like I said, I just want to thank everybody who was following the campaign right now. For whatever reason, that if you can't pledge right now, you have 27 days to do it. Thank you so much for even following the campaign, because all it does is show me how much potential interest there is for this. And, of course, but, the absolute, proof of that is pledging to the campaign. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, so I want to make sure that I don't forget to add that sketch cover to the add-on section. So if you're waiting for that, like I said, at the end of the show, I'm going to go and do that. So if you're waiting for the sketch cover add-on, I got you. And also let's all thank Nita for trying, but her equipment was just not having it today. Also, everybody wish Nita a happy birthday. Her birthday was yesterday. I had already sent her a gift, but it showed up on Valentine's Day instead, which counts, completely counts. So I think that's it. I think we can call that. I can call this, a good end to the show. Again, thank you everybody for pledging to the campaign. If you're watching this on the replay, if you're watching this on the replay, the links are going to be in the show notes and in the chat. So you can go ahead and pledge, check out the campaign and pledge as well. So again, thank you everybody in the chat for keeping me company. For keeping me company after Nita's computer pooped out on her. Right. Thank you so much to all of the beautiful eyeball people watching from regions beyond. Like I said, if you're watching from Facebook, please come on over to YouTube. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever any of my shows go live. And also, like I said, we get sometimes Facebook gives us hiccups, over, the connection. So if you really want to make sure you're talking to us or me directly live on the air, the chat is on YouTube is the best way to do it. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and all that other fun stuff, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can read EGORAVEN, Heir the First Unicorn for free. We're just uploading issue 10 right now on the website. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can head on over to Tall Tales. You follow the link over to Tall Tales Online, TAILS online.com, and you can read the entire archive there. It's over 1,000 pages worth of furry Lord of the Rings adventure. And like I said, it's like eventually, it's like I'm going to be hopefully finishing up that second story arc, those last 2 issues this year. So that's another goal for me, is to finish Tall Tales. And also, don't forget, let's see, where am I? Oh, right here. Don't forget, while you're on the website, or even right here, right now, you can scan this QR code and sign up for my newsletter, where you can keep up to date with all of my art, my sketchbooks, my comics. And while you're there, you'll also get a free PDF comics bundle just for signing up. You get Tall Tales, EGORAVEN, and the Oswald Chronicles just to try out, just for signing up for the newsletter. And like I said, it's like I send out about a monthly update as to what's going on and what's available. So that's it for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for Nita for giving it the old college try with the computer. Again, not having it. Hopefully by next Monday, we'll have everything. She'll have everything sorted out. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.